I would like to be a scientist.
Science is very important to children that go to urban schools because
Science is, I like it because we do
The
experiments.
enthusiasm for science is like, if before it was a 1, now we're all the way up to like 10. This event is a STEM recognition event. It's being held by an organization called SABES, which stands for STEM Achievement in Baltimore Elementary Schools. SABES is a partnership between Johns Hopkins University and the Baltimore City Public Schools, and it's funded by the National Science Foundation. And the purpose of this project is to engage with 3 particular communities within Baltimore City and work with them both during the school day and after school, and with the community as a whole in order to raise the profile of STEM within the community and instill STEM as a value. So the general layout of the event is that this entry hall we're standing in now is where students are going to show off their projects to their parents or caregivers or friends and family who come, and also to other students from the different schools. So you'll see there are poster boards set up where students are showing off the sort of things that they've made. On the other floors, we have some demonstrations. We have some people from Applied Physics Laboratory who are going to show off robots and robotic prosthetics, which are one interesting example of how science and engineering can really make a profound difference in somebody's life.
I think science is very important to children that go to urban schools because I don't think that in general we get enough exposure to science in the regular classroom environment.
Our project is electricity, conductors, and insulators. And circuits. We created different types of circuits like simple circuits, series circuits, and parallel circuits. And with different items, we tried to let electricity flow through different items. And if the electricity can flow through an item, that means it's a conductor. And if electricity cannot flow through an item, that makes it an insulator. If we get a wire, put it to the positive end of the battery, the flat side is the positive energy. You put the wire, and then get another wire and put it to the positive energy, and then you get your light bulb and put both of the ends to the light bulb, and it will light up.
So we think it inspires students by giving the opportunity to do things that are hands-on, so they get to build things themselves, see how they work, improve them, test them, and really engage one-on-one with the activities. But beyond that, we're trying to pilot something that we call student-driven projects. So the purpose there is to allow students the opportunity to go into their own neighborhood and say, what's going on in my neighborhood? Where does science and engineering fit in my neighborhood? And what are projects I could work on where I'm deploying science or engineering to deal with the problems that I think are relevant?
My project is magnets and how to build a vacuum cleaner. Connect the wire to the paper clips. No. And when you grab both of these on there, you will pick up some paper clips with the tip of the nail. I learned about a project about how to work a vacuum cleaner and how to do magnets.
As a parent, I believe this is a good program because it keeps kids motivated and involved in their learning, and it, creates in them a want or I guess a need, to learn. And the program gives the kids, a want to learn, so they're motivated to, to participate in class and that kind of thing.
So the outcome we're really hoping for today is that the students come to the Science Center, get to experience the Science Center, but get to show off what it is that they've been doing all year long. So they get to explain to other students, to their parents, to their teachers about different aspects of science and engineering that they got to engage with and express their enthusiasm for it, because I think it's by doing that, by being the one explaining, that they get to feel some facility with science and engineering themselves, and they can see themselves as the expert.
We want to accomplish to see how much a vacuum can suck up from outside by the trash that's on the ground. Me and my friends, we started to do a project because we were collecting trash, And we did so much trash that we tried to build a vacuum and see what we had to collect while we were outside.
Yeah. It definitely introduces the curriculum to the kids, and it also reinforces what they've already learned. And they're able to carry it over into the following grades because they're hands-on activities, they're very engaging. The information just sticks with the children. Well, I just think it's an excellent program because it lends itself well to the Common Core of the language arts curriculum. Is also it implements the math curriculum, and it just ties in everyday problems and problem solving for the kids, and it's very engaging. It just is a great motivation booster. The kids are able to showcase what they've learned, showcase what they know. They're able to see what other students are working on. So I just think it really it does a great job of boosting their ego, boosting their intelligence. It does a long way with helping in the community.
The program itself targets specifically grades 3, 4, and 5. And we think that those grades are really critical because it's when students are really forming their idea of what they're interested in as a life interest or a career, and trying to understand how are the subjects they're studying in school relevant to their own lives. And so we think it's really important that science, engineering, and math get engaged in that way in that grade cohort. And then also there'll be places where students and parents together can work on little design projects, building things, improving them, seeing how they can make something that spins in the wind to generate electricity, seeing how they can build little aerodynamic things. And then there's also a room where we're going to have food, and so people can eat together and not get too hungry during the course of the event. We're engaging a whole lot of different populations who may not have had access to a science fair before. So many of our schools have, for example, some of our schools have large populations for whom English is a second language.
Science is, I like it because we do experiments, and I like to do experiments. We engineer and we do stuff like, in third grade we did guitars and instruments and all of those stuff.
Les deseo todo lo mejor que sea posible, todo lo que yo pudiera desearle, lo que yo no tuve, quisiera que él lo tuviera. Todo, siempre, lo mejor para él. I want all his better life who's got it, because I want to earn growing up better like me. Sí, todo. Es la prioridad perfecta para mí.
Right, so the parents are obviously instrumental in preparing the students and enrolling them in the after-school program to begin with. But then this event is particularly important because it's an opportunity for the students to show off for their parents and family members what they've been doing, explain why they're interested in it and how it's important, and maybe for parents to have bragging rights a bit to what their students have been doing during the day, both in the classroom and outside the classroom. And we think it's really that sort of interaction where students get to show what they're doing to their parents and explain its value, and parents getting to explain that then to their friends and neighbors, that will hopefully raise interest in STEM within the communities.
A fossil was a living thing that died in a natural source of water and was preserved over millions of years. And I will share some tips for you to become a paleontologist. A paleontologist is a person who studies fossils. A paleontologist uses a brush to dig softly, because if you smooth it out too hard, it might break. And like this fossil is a cockle shell, because you can see it right here. It made me feel excited when I started doing experiments.
It's been a fantastic experience seeing the kids play with cars, think about what does it take to make a car go, and see the first inklings of interest that could eventually germinate into a lifelong interest in science and engineering. So I find it's hard to think of something more worthwhile.
I would like to be a scientist.
Science is very important to children that go to urban schools because I don't think
Science is, I like it because we do experiments.
Enthusiasm for science is if before it was a 1, now